Hello everybody, it's David Becker here with BeckerArt, and today I'm here to give you a nice tip on how to make straight lines in watercolor. There are many ways of getting a straight line in watercolor, but I just found one out that I just cannot believe I've ever knew about, or I never even thought about. And I'm not sure how I just figured this out. I didn't see anybody do it, I just did it one day and I found this ruler. But normally what I would do to get a straight edge, a lot of times with my brush, I would use one of these liner pens, and the liner pens are fine when you fill it up with a watercolor. You take a watercolor brush and just put it on there, and then you take your ruler, and you kind of go in there on the one side and you draw a straight line like that. It's great. It still makes a great line. It's a little bit more time consuming than what I've learned. And also, I've taken like an ink pen with watercolor, and I put watercolor on the brush, and I kind of put it onto the pen. Same thing with it, and just draw it. Sometimes I find that it's a little sloppy with the ruler. You have to keep the ruler a little bit up so that it doesn't sneak underneath there. But watch this. So I just found one of these rulers in my box. I forgot where I got it, but one of these architect rulers that are called scale rulers. And I've used this thing now to guide my palm, or basically my palm of my hand or the side of my hand, and I kind of put it down and I use it to direct my hand. It's almost like a little guide that I can use to just really quickly make a line. It seems so simple, and I can't believe I've never thought about this. But what you can do it with the brushes, or even if you think about it, you can still do it with the liner brush, and you keep the liner pen. You can keep the liner pen straight like that instead of putting it right against the ruler, which you can still do. But sometimes, like I said, it gets underneath there, unless you raise it up with little dimes or pennies underneath the thing. So that works. But watch this. So I'm gonna just take my liner brush since I'm making the line. I'm just gonna take some black here, and just so you can see it. And I'm just going to start the line. And so, if you had a pencil line there, I can just follow the pencil line, and I can just start way up on top here, and then just, practice a couple times with the line. And, depending, let's make it sideways. Or I used to use my finger, like my finger on the side of the board here, and I would just go down like this. But so it's the same concept with my liner. You can also do that with your finger if you feel like you still want to do that with your fingers and use this as a guide. You just put your hand on there and use it as a guide. So look at this. Put it down and look at how nice a straight line I can get. Super straight line. And you just look at it and watch your line, your pencil line that you have. And let's do another one right there, right next to it. So I'm just going to set it down. And this is now with my fingers on the ruler and not my palm. But you can also do it with your palm like this. So maybe way out here when I just do it. So I'm just going to, I always do a practice run too. I kind of take the ruler, line it up, and then I do a couple of practice runs like above it, and then I just take and I fill and just go. And look at how nice a straight line that is. So another way of making a straight line, and to me, doing a brush with a liner brush is actually safer to me than I've ever used. A lot of times when I have to fill this thing up, the liner pen, it's just a little bit tougher for me to do it. And when I don't need a super, super fine line, this is still a pretty fine line. I think the more you practice it, the better you'll get. Some people maybe will go this way and just put their palm on here and just kind of go across. Let's try it again. And so I'm just going to go across again and see, I'm just going to kind of take it like this and line it up. And I like to go straight down so I can go farther. And I'm not sure if you can find one of these ones that are farther than 1 foot. So maybe you get a ruler that's farther apart, that goes a little bit farther. I'm not sure if they make these longer than that, but I just found this. And for me, I really don't do the lines that are that much longer than that. And a lot of times when you're doing the lines for like telephone poles, I don't use anything. I just practice it to go very quickly and then just, go down like that and just get your telephone wires that you need on your landscape. And so another way, I also, if you take a bigger brush, let's say you want to take and do a wider line, or just make it something straight, but it's kind of thick. Let's just try that. So I'll just make this line really fat and thick. Or like last week, what I had done is I showed you how to make thin and thick lines. So where you with pressure of your brush in my last week's tip. So look at how I can just make a nice straight fat line like that. I can also use this and a little bit of pressure on it, and I can just, look at this, I can just run a few lines right next to it. So I'm just see how nice that could help you out, and just running your line. Oh, that one wasn't so good because it looked up at the same time. But you get that picture. You just use the pen or use the ruler as your guide. And the nice is because it sits up about an inch away, where this one's a little bit harder. So if you had to use your finger or use your palm, you're too close and you're going to rub into the painting. So, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I can just do it like this, hold it up. But it's kind of wobbly if I do it from the top here. Yes, you can do it. You know, if you find that you need to, you know, do it without that kind of brush, I guess, yes, you can. But it just seems a little wobbly there. But so I would say get yourself one of these scale. I think they're about. I have in the things down below. I have a Amazon. I think the cheapest you can get one is like $6, $6.57, and hey, it'll save you a lot of time on making those really nice flat straight lines. Look at that. Look at how nice and straight that is. See that? So get yourself a scale ruler for architects, and yeah, at the same time you can architect something that you want. All right, and so if you ever want to find more tips, go to my YouTube channel, and you'll find that below. What is it? Subscribe, subscribe there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can get more tips like this. And also every Thursday I do a paint along where I do a watercolor, and on Tuesday, usually on my website, you'll find out what we're painting on Thursday, and then follow along. Just use it anytime you want, because I've got hundreds of them in there right now that you can paint along with. All right, until the next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.